The allure of winning the lottery is undeniable. With just a few dollars and a stroke of luck, you could suddenly find yourself in possession of millions, free to live out your wildest dreams without a financial care in the world. It's a tantalizing vision that has led countless people to convenience stores, scratching away at tickets or eagerly watching those magical balls bounce their way into the chute. But have you ever paused to consider the other side of the coin? What if this sudden influx of wealth doesn't lead to the happily ever after you envisioned? What if instead it sets off a chain of events that ultimately ruins your life? Let's explore why winning the lottery might not be the jackpot you hoped for. Number 1. The illusion of endless wealth. You see, the moment you win, you might think you've got this endless pool of money and you start fantasizing about everything you could do with it. But here's the kicker. It's not as endless as you think. Imagine you're at a shopping mall and you see this jaw-dropping limited edition watch. You think, I've got the money, why not? And just like that, you buy it. No second thoughts. But then, a week later, you see another must-have gadget. Again, you buy it. See where I'm going with this? You start to live in this bubble where you think the money will never run out. But guess what? It does. And when it does, it hits you like a ton of bricks. Now you might be thinking, okay, but I'll invest, I'll save. Sounds like a solid plan, right? But here's where things get a little complicated. Investing isn't as straightforward as you might think, especially when you're dealing with a windfall as large as a lottery jackpot. First off, let's talk about the choices you have. You can either take the lump sum cash payout or opt for an annuity that pays you over a span of 29 years. Now, you might be tempted to take the cash, thinking you can invest it and make it grow. But financial experts suggest that taking the annuity might actually be the smarter move. Why? Because it dramatically reduces your risk of making poor investment decisions. But let's say you're feeling adventurous and decide to take the lump sum and invest it, which investment advisors will likely encourage you to since they earn a percentage from the investment of all that money. Well, this could lead to potential conflicts of interest, and you might end up with investments that benefit your advisor more than they benefit you. Now here's the kicker. Even if you think you can beat the average investment gain of 4.3% annuity, there's still a risk. Markets are volatile. Economic conditions change. What seems like a solid investment today could turn into a financial disaster tomorrow. And remember, the more you have to lose. But wait, there's more. A study published by the National Bureau of Economic Research debunked the myth that most lottery winners blow their money in a few years. In fact, winners who won up to $2 million were still wealthier a decade later. Sounds comforting, right? But here's the catch. They cut down on work, mostly in the form of taking longer vacations. So while you might not blow it all away, you might just find yourself slacking off, thinking you've got all the time and money in the world. And just when you think you've got it all figured out, reality slaps you in the face. You realize that the money isn't endless, and you find yourself in a financial whirlpool. And getting out isn't as easy as you thought. Number 2. Strained relationships. You've just won the lottery, and you're ecstatic. You're already imagining the endless possibilities. Luxury vacations, a new house, maybe even early retirement. But wait, there's a knock on the door. It's your cousin you haven't seen in years. And guess what? He's heard about your newfound fortune. And so begins the unraveling of relationships you once held dear. Winning the lottery doesn't just change your financial status, it changes how people see you, especially those closest to you. Money changes things, and not always for the better. Remember your best friend from high school? The one who stood by you through thick and thin? Well, don't be surprised if they suddenly remember that $20 they lent you 10 years ago and now want it back with interest. And it's not just old friends. New friends will come out of the woodwork too, each with a sob story more heartbreaking than the last. You'll find yourself questioning the motives of everyone around you. Are they here for you or your money? But the strain isn't just external, it's internal too. A study from Sweden found that women who win the lottery are twice as likely to get divorced in the 2 years following their win. The sudden influx of wealth gives them the financial freedom to leave unhappy marriages. But what happens after the dust settles? The study suggests that the risk of divorce fades over time, but the emotional scars remain. You're left wondering if your marriage was just a contract bound by financial constraints. And let's not forget about family, the people who are supposed to be your rock. Winning the lottery can turn family gatherings into business meetings, where everyone vies for a piece of your pie. Your parents, siblings, and even your distant aunt will have an investment opportunity you can't miss. And if you say no, well, get ready for some passive-aggressive comments at the next family dinner. Now you might be thinking, I can handle this, I'll set boundaries. Easier said than done. Setting boundaries means saying no, and saying no means dealing with the guilt of not sharing your good fortune. It's a vicious cycle that can take a toll on your mental health. Number 3. Becoming a target. And lastly, let's delve into one of the most overlooked consequences of winning the lottery: becoming a target. You see, the moment you win that lottery, you're not just rich, you're a walking, talking dollar sign. And guess what? People notice dollar signs. You might think you're safe, but you're not. The moment you win, you're more susceptible to theft than ever before. Your winning ticket? That's a golden ticket for someone else if they get their hands on it. And if you think you can just cash it in and be done, think again. People like Jack Whitaker were robbed hundreds of thousands of dollars after their big win. So the first thing you need to do is secure that ticket like it's the crown jewels. But it's not just about theft. Oh no, it gets creepier. You also become a magnet for stalkers. People you've never met suddenly find you fascinating. They want to be near you, follow you, and not in a cute fan-like way. We're talking about the kind of stalking that makes your skin crawl. And don't think you can just escape it by taking a vacation. The news travels fast and stalkers have a way of finding you, even if you're miles away from home. And let's not forget about the most terrifying scenario: kidnapping. You or someone in your family could be abducted for ransom. It's a grim thought, but it's a reality for some lottery winners. You're not just a person anymore, you're a potential payday for someone else. And if you think it's just strangers you have to worry about, you're wrong. Sometimes the danger comes from people you know and trust. So what can you do? First, keep a low profile. The less people know, the better. Invest in top-notch security systems for both personal and home safety. And also, be cautious about who you trust and always be aware of your surroundings. And there you have it, the not-so-glamorous side of hitting the jackpot. It's not meant to scare you away from playing the lottery, but to make you aware of the realities. Life won't just be champagne and roses, there will be thorns. So if you're lucky enough to win, make sure you're smart enough to handle it. If you liked the video, please consider subscribing and sharing so we can keep bringing more content like this. See you next time!